Boom.
I don't know if I like the sliding.
Boom.
Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live on Neevesknives, doing a members only live with my lovely wife, Kara. Sorry. This is a members only live. People can watch, but in order to be involved or communicate in the chat, you do have to be a member. We did get a bunch of new members last night because we had people donating members, which was awesome. So we should have, so hopefully we'll have some new members in here tonight, or today. So today, what we're going to do is we are going to do a couple different things. We are going to...
Oh, turn your sound up pretty, please. I'm surprised it's that quiet.
Yeah, it's because it's far away. How about now? Pretty good? So today we are going to cut choils. That's one thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about choils and plunge grinds. And we're also going to do some sharpening. The reason why we're going to cut in choils is, one, to show you how easy it is if you just buy this one bit if you already have a Dremel. And if you buy this bit for like 10, 11, 12 bucks, it will save you so much time and effort when you're modifying, cutting in choils, cutting out lock bar reliefs, doing whatever. This bit is like the best bit you could ever have for your Dremel when working on knives. And you know, obviously you should have a whole bit set, and we'll go through that too. But the sharpening we're going to do, I haven't decided which one we're going to sharpen. We're going to talk about it really quick. So one, testing on the dual grit edge on 154 cm did not do very well. So I'm not very happy with it. So the way I look at it is, yeah, the working edge is still really good. So yes, it holds a really good working edge, but it doesn't hold the bite that I want. So I'm thinking a dual grit edge, excuse me, it's probably best for a steel that does well with a fine edge, because usually a steel that does well with a fine edge can also do good with a toothy edge. 154 cm doesn't do good with a polished edge. So I don't think it's the best steel to do a dual grit edge on. Does that mean there's anything wrong with the steel? No, not at all. It just means 154 cm is probably not the best steel to use with a dual grit edge, and you should probably just stick around 600 grit, is what I would recommend. So we could go back over this and reapply a new edge to it, since it's not going well with the dual grit edge. Like I said though, it did hang, it still has a sharp edge, and it's a great working edge, and I'm guessing that that's going to hang on for a long time, but it doesn't have the bite that I want. It doesn't have that scary level of sharpness that I like in my edges. So, you know, with other dual grit edges I've done, they did have that. They did hang on to that a lot better. So
I'm turning this into the Kara cam because you're on that one, and I feel left out.
Well, that's usually how we do it, and then we wind up moving it down. You're not happy with that? Yo, so you get a separate camera all to yourself?
Yeah, I have my own. You can have your ear in it.
I'm getting ripped off over here.
Can I share some good news? I can't wait anymore.
Share it. Go on.
Are you ready? This is really just good news to Jared and I, but I want to share it anyway. Guess what happened to the skull video? They released the copyright claim. We did it, boys!
After they've already fucked us over, though. They screwed us over, though.
Listen, when you get a copyright strike, even if they allow your monetization to sit in escrow, which basically means they allow your money to collect, or your video to collect money, but if they choose the copyright person as the winner, then all the money you made goes to them, and you get nothing. All your investment was for nothing. Yeah. No, I don't think you get anything.
Yeah, I think you do. You get a little percentage, yeah.
Anyway, so we've been sitting in escrow. It hurts your numbers. They don't recommend it to people because they don't want to put too much into it if there's copyright claim stuff on it.
So our video did not get shared by YouTube. It's not doing well, and it's because they
claim released
because of that claim. So whatever, it happens. It's part of the game.
So crazy. They're like, yeah, they decided to release your claim. It's like, yeah, I hope so, because it was a royalty-free song.
Fuckers.
We linked like 8 royalty-free music websites where it was available for free, and I'm like...
And it sucks because it's like, there was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with it the whole time, but now it kind of, you know, it hurts us the way the video gets out there, how much they probably share it. I'm sure that affects it to some extent, but... Yeah. And then for nothing though. There was no reason for them to even flag it. So that means a bot is what flagged it for nothing. I don't know why they have that. Like, it's ridiculous that they even have that in place. Anyways, enough with that. let's talk about some sharpening.
You want to move the camera down?
Yeah, I'm gonna in a second. You want to go make some coffee?
Yeah, but move that first. I want to make sure this is all Gucci.
I will when I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Oh, you're not ready?
No.
When are you gonna be ready?
In a little bit.
Will you wait till I get back with the coffee to move it?
Yeah, I'll wait till you get back. All right, so
We're like kind of king at winning copyright disputes so far. Don't want to jinx
so
it,
far,
but we're pretty good at it.
Yeah, pretty legit.
Because we don't do anything stupid on purpose.
Yeah. All right, while people are getting in here, we're going to talk about some of these tools. Let's talk about that Dremel bit really quick. So, everybody should have a Dremel. I linked some down in the description, but everybody should have a Dremel. It's a super important tool, not just for knife-related stuff, but for automotive stuff, household stuff. I don't care if you live in an apartment building. You should have a Dremel. Now, along with your Dremel, you should have one of these, a bit set. The bit set comes with all different bits for all different purposes and reasons, but today's bit, what we're going to be concentrating on is one that does not come in a kit, so you have to buy it separately. But it's called a carbide cutting bit. I have it linked down in the description. It's a tungsten carbide cutting bit. Now this bit will cut through hardened steel effortlessly, very fast. Now my other, so like say if instead I used a diamond bit, right? Because I could use a diamond bit instead. But the diamond bit is not going to go half as fast as this. So this is going to take a lot more effort and it'll wear out a lot faster. Then, you know, you have other bits that you can use like, you know, for finishing, you know, like the stone bits. Oh, come on. The stone bits, the rubber bits, things like that. You know, these are really good to have because like this, I would use, say, if I'm trying to match up, like say if I do a cutout on a lock bar for a lock bar relief, I'll use one of these, if not both of them, to help replicate the finish that's on the titanium so that it'll match the finish that's on the face of it after cutting it. Super easy, and it's very easy to blend when you have one of these kits. Super easy to blend and match the finishes that when you wind up modifying or doing something. Most of the mods I've done, it looked great afterwards. Now with the carbide bit, it's shiny when you cut it. So it's a very clean cut. So it's almost polished when you're cutting it. Not quite polished, but it's shiny. So at times after cutting it out, you could just leave it. Or you could rough up the surface a little bit by using a sandpaper bit, something like that. That'll work really good. You can use your sandpaper, the sandpaper wheels, but you don't have to. Now, the beautiful thing about the carbide cutting bit is you can technically, like depending on the type of choil you're wanting, you can just literally just go bzzzt, right in. So there's really not much effort to it besides just literally going bzzzt, straight down, really fast. So, and we have a couple knives here that we want to do that on. So it's going to be really, really easy. Now, if I really wanted to, which this would work the best for too, is cut in a whole finger choil. This thing will cut a finger choil very fast. And then you can do what I said. You can take a little piece of sandpaper with your finger and rub, like after you cut it out, you can use the sandpaper and refinish it and try to match up the finish a little bit. But a lot of times, as long as you stay on the inside, you're not going to be able to see much of a difference with the finish because it's, you know, it'd be just the inside layer. So like say if I wanted to cut in a finger choil here, I'd trace it out with a marker or something, and I would just come straight down in there and just go do a half a circle. So it'd be like this. So I would just trace it right out like that, but straight. So, and I'd just do like a half a moon. And then if I wanted to match up the finish, I could do that with sandpaper or whatnot. So these bits though, definitely get one of these. These things are amazing. It makes it to where you don't worry so much about, like, say if you have a knife and you really like it and the lock bar access sucks, you don't even care because you have one of these. You can just fix it. You know, it's kind of like anything. If you can solve the problem, it's not really a problem. Now I bitch and complain about a lot of these things on knives because I know a lot of people don't want to buy the knife and then have to do that. But when you see how easy it is to do it, you know, you wind up realizing like, it's not that big of a deal. So a couple of the knives like that I would want to do that on. Now, and this is where one problem comes into place. Coatings. Coated blades. Coated blades and finishes. Now this is the CIVIVI ALTUS. I linked it down in the description. This one's a modified version with beautiful carbon fiber scales. And I replaced it with a CIVIVI or a I think it's a titanium clip. You can buy, by the way, for just a few bucks, you can get titanium clips for any CIVIVI. So just so you know, if you do want a titanium clip, you can easily get it. Dress up your knife a little bit. But the one problem with this, and with a lot of the CIVIVIs, and this is one of my issues that I've had with them lately, what the fuck are they doing with their plunge grinds? Like, they've always been, not always, but they've done really good in the past with not putting a plunge grind all the way to the edge. And lately, they're like, we don't care about that no more. And it drives me nuts because that is one thing that was really good about them, because it makes it to where you can sharpen your knife in the future and it'll still look new. It'll still look nice. So with this one, they did not do a good job with the plunge grind. It's really close to the edge, as you can see. See how close that plunge grind is hit? You can see I've already hit it. You can see I've already bumped the plunge grind right there. So adding just a little tiny notch, thank you, baby. Adding a little tiny notch will massively increase the ease of sharpening on this, and it'll look cleaner. Problem is that it's coated. So when I do it, it's going to take the coating off, but as long as I keep it on the undercarriage of the knife, on the underside of it, the only time you'll see it is if the knife is faced like this towards you. So you'll barely be able to see it. So we're going to work on that here in 1 second. I'm going to take a couple sips of my coffee. I'm going to read a couple comments. And we're also going to figure out what knife we're going to sharpen today, because I didn't just pick, I have a couple different choices. Thought about the Sakshi, that's one. I do need to sharpen that.
I thought it was pronounced Saxa.
We could do the Drop Bear. I also really need to sharpen this guy, the Predator. I wasn't the happiest with its edge the first time I sharpened it. It's okay, but I don't know. It's a little weird. I don't know if it's the heat treat or what's going on with it, so we might check into that one a little bit more, because I'd like to get that one on the stone and have a good feel for their D2 a little bit more. Comments? What are you doing?
Trying to
What is that? What was that?
I'm trying to prevent so much light. This camera takes in light a lot differently than the DSLR
You look
one.
dark. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I look dark because I'm not in the foreground with you.
If you want, I can turn up one of these other lights and turn off, or turn that
This
one on.
is, no, that, like, if that one way over there is terrible, it's not as bad now.
I
like,
think, but you don't think that it's because it's like mix match? Like, if you just had the light on, it would blend in.
if you turned on, like...
I'm saying on this one. Like, if you turned it on, I bet you it would blend in.
I had this on before. It's awful.
You already tried it?
Yeah, I think we need to turn some of those down.
All right, I'll try.
Because it's just blaring.
All right, we're going to lower the camera.
Anyway, guys.
Do you want me to turn it down or no?
Yeah, let me get, like, just the middle one on.
You got to let me out.
Eek. Sound is so low for you, Ed.
All right, well, I'll move the microphone. Give me 1 second.
I swear it's this software doing it.
How's that?
It's better. That's way too much. Better. It's going to be bright. It's going to be over.
That's the one they're getting. All right, so microphone. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking.
Crank that.
Now we're.
Piece.
Ooh, now it's too loud.
No.
Yeah, look.
Do it for Ed.
Look. It's too much.
Can you guys
How's
tell
that,
us
Ed?
the audio?
Is that too much?
People besides Ed as well, so we can understand if it's.
We will be turning on a Dremel soon, so we might have to turn it down for that. I might need you to grab me my other tool
the screen
off
is
the
so I don't
charger.
hit my head again. To be able, remember last time I like snuck my head in frame while you were sharpening and whapped it on the way up.
Can you grab me my other jewel on the charger? Thank you. All right, so yeah, I think we'll test this one out. We'll sharpen that, but first let's cut in some choils. So,
Yeah, cut that choil, baby.
because this will just take a second, but we are going to just loosen that up. You just hold the button, loosen that up, drop that in. If you don't know how to use a Dremel, now you do. Super easy. Now it just needs to be plugged in, which we're gonna do down here. Oh shit, we don't have enough
My
room.
dog was shocked a bit, but
Oh,
now
man.
it's okay.
I don't have enough
What do you
room
need?
down here to
For
plug
what?
in. Will that reach all the way over there?
Why don't you have
No,
enough room down there?
Because there's no outlets.
That's like a, isn't that like a hazard?
I'm just gonna undo the computer.
What?
Yeah, just for a second. It'll be fine. Alright, so, just for a second. It's not too loud for you guys, right? Alright, we're gonna lower you guys down really quick. So, see you guys in a second.
They can still see me.
Yeah. Alright, let's move this out of the way. Zoom these cats in. Alright, so, I'm going to just use some dumb tape. Normally, I would use painter's tape. Yeah.
If you want to look them dead in the face, just look over here.
I normally would use painter's tape, but I have a bunch of this tape and I don't really care. And I'm only using it just to try to stop debris from getting into my pivot, nothing else. I don't feel like taking it apart right after I'm done. So this is just a little bit of protection. It's not really going to do anything. I'm going to remove it right away. And I might still have to take it apart after. Yeah, that looks pretty good actually. Whatever. Move this down. So, all we're doing is we're just going to cut a notch straight in right there. I know my tape's kind of in the way, but the Dremel will go right through that. So, we're going to hold it down just like that. We're going to take this, back you guys up just a little bit. Take this and just go straight down, bzzz, just like that. It's going to be real fast, no problems. Ooh, hit my edge.
You should have zoomed in a little
I got to
closer.
resharpen it anyways, but I hit my edge really
I
good.
heard that.
Yeah, I hit it. But it's okay, I'm resharpening it anyways.
Yeah.
So you can see.
Nobody can see.
Oh, I gotta take the tape off.
Oh.
Yeah, I skipped it. I shouldn't have skipped it like that. Normally I'm a lot more careful, but this thing's it needs a new edge. The edge is shot on it anyways. But you can see. The new choil now. Now the plunge grind is separated from the edge. Now the only time you're going to see it is if like it's facing towards you like that to see that the coating is not there. Now you can see where I hit my edge, but like I said, I'll remove all that. And now it looks like I have plenty of room to remove that steel. I might need to go a little bit deeper, but you see how fast that was. So at any time, if I've sharpened away the steel, I can always do that again to add a deeper choil. Now let's do another one really quick because we have another one here. The Conspirator. I've already sharpened this, and you can see where my smile is already. See how I've sharpened it? It's got a polished edge on there, but now look at the choil area. Look at that. Looks like shit. Because it's got a smile. See that smile? So we want to put the Dremel right through that and cut that out. Let me tape this up again. The edge is still pretty sharp on this one, so I'm going to try not to skip across it like I did the other one. But, you know, just because of the new choil, I kind of want to just sharpen it again anyways, because when I was sharpening it the first time, I was trying to be careful and everything. Once you cut in a choil, you don't have to worry about that. All right, so again, just lay it down. We're going to go right in, and this time we are going to try to go a little bit deeper than the last one since this one's a little bit bigger.
I feel like I'm at the dentist.
Yep. Ah, I did it again.
Oh my gosh. That was a bad one.
Yeah, it was. Damn, that
felt
got
that.
my edge really good.
I know, I could hear that was a bad
Oh,
one.
it's such a good choil, too. I could have just stopped right there.
I know.
Now, man, I got to remove a lot of
Less is
steel.
more.
Maybe we'll have to just sharpen this one up. The choil looks great, but damn it. I skipped again. Chewed my edge all
Let
up.
me see it.
Oh, it looks bad.
I want to see.
Looks real bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You made a unintentional serration
Yeah.
down your first quarter, or probably.
Let's see here.
Two
yeah, I have
quarters
to
of your
remove about
knife.
3 sharpenings worth of steel to get rid of
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Yeah. Let's see if the action's still good because, yeah, I don't think.
Was your
anything got in
goal
the
to
pivot.
prove that this was just like an easy thing?
It is an easy thing. I do this all
Well,
the time. I do
it
this all the time.
doesn't
I usually don't do it like on this surface right here. I usually do it on my bench and have things held down. This steel though, can you grab a paper towel really quick?
Yeah.
All right, another one I gotta sharpen now. So the only other one I was gonna do is this one. This one hasn't been sharpened at all yet, but the edge is like, there's nothing to it. So, but this one, yeah, it's still clear. I just hate that these are all coated blades. I wish they were non-coated. And that's what I really hate when CIVIVI, any company, does these coatings on and without having a good choil. It makes it to where it's like, man, now when I go to cut in a choil, it's going to look like or it could have the potential to look like shit when it doesn't have to. All right. Let's cut this one in really quick. Yeah, I guess I should wrap it. Hopefully this time I don't jump again. This time I should go this direction. This tape is not hanging on for shit. How to F up your edge in one simple step. Exactly, yeah. Luckily, we have no problems sharpening here, so that's not a big deal. What really sucks is when you drop your knife, when you drop it and the tip breaks, because depending on the spine that you have on your knife, you have to, because you can usually, in many cases, remove the steel from the spine when you break your tip. That's the way you'd want to be able to do it, but sometimes it's difficult because of the grinds that they have on them, and you don't want to make it look ugly or something like that. This one, let's try doing it. Move that out of the way. This time we're going to be, I should go this direction so that if it does skip, it goes that way, but...
Ed says you're skipping across the edge on purpose so you can do another how to fix a damaged edge video.
Hey, don't call
tell
me
our
out. Don't call me
secrets.
out on that. That's so funny.
He's like, oops.
Whoops.
Oopsie daisy.
Oh, why is this unplugged? Oh, there we go.
I don't plug it.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Where's my wrench?
Kyle has
Do you have-
one. Dennis has one.
No.
Irish
come
has
on.
one. They all have wrenches. I'm sure they'd loan it to you.
Where's my pliers at? I had them right here, I thought. Do you not see pliers laying around somewhere right here?
I'm still Cup. The name has lived on.
Forget it.
No, sweetie
did it with
pie. Oh yeah, right here, baby.
You got them? Oh, cool. Yes.
I told ya. I told you we would loan you some pliers.
Just tightening it up a little bit so it doesn't wind up coming loose.
I oddly don't mind
This
the
one, I
nickname
need
Cup.
to be up higher. That's kind of my problem.
Yeah.
There's-
Start blaming it on stuff.
No. There we go.
Are you going through tape?
No. Going around it. Good. All right. Oh, it looks so much better. All right.
It's a roaster's wrench. Pick beam, high wrench.
But yeah, it only takes a second to do it as long as you don't damage your edge doing it like I did with the other one. But usually it goes really smooth. I probably should have used this the first time. Let me get this thing off.
You look so intense working from the back on this face cam. You look like a madman in his lab. Like an evil scientist.
I just want to
working away. Really quick. No, it's just the way that you look from the back. It's such
from the back.
Yeah, from the back.
All right, so you guys can see that one now.
Hey, do you not have a table vise?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have one, or
yes.
Well, you could use that. Kyle said that.
Yeah, the thing is, that's all like not in our studio and our cameras.
Yeah, this isn't really a workshop.
It's not a work. Yeah, this isn't a workshop. And I wanted to cut this in really quick because if I was going to sharpen it, I wanted to make sure that my plunge grind was cleared because it pissed me off the last time I sharpened these two, because I have two of the one knives and the other one hit the plunge grind, so I knew this one would, unless if I cut in the choil. And yeah, so let's, can you back up a little bit? Let me in.
You're stupid. This chair is like a freaking spaceship.
I know. All right, let's get to sharpening now. Okay, so the knife I want to sharpen now, because I don't know. So the first time I sharpened it, I put a toothy edge on it, and it still has that toothy edge, but it didn't hold the bite from the toothy edge like you would think. Like it's almost like it's gotten slick, like almost rocky in a way. It's kind of weird, but maybe it was me, maybe it was the way I deburred, I don't know. But maybe it's the grit I stopped at. Maybe I should have went up a little bit. It's hard to say.
Hey guys, as always, if you have any questions throughout the stream, let me know and I'll make sure that they get to Jared.
Please ask.
It's a big part of being a member is like in the normal lives, you don't really always have the opportunity to get your question answered, but here we make it happen.
And we can hook up anything here.
Yeah, we can demonstrate a lot easier here. Like normal lives, there's sort of a thing or a plan going on, but in this case, it's like even though we have a plan, if you have a particular question, it's like the time where we can actually show you. We have the camera facing down. It's a lot different, you know, from a regular live.
Okay, so if we need to, we can change your guys' angle on this one because I know you guys are like top down right now. But so let's feel this steel really quick. I kind of want to feel the steel out. Yeah, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel super hard. But then I really like the knife a lot. It could just be a little bit of burnt steel from the edge. It is very possible that after another sharpening or this sharpening, I could like all of a sudden get into harder steel. It's very apparent when that happens too. Like it'll go from where it almost feels like the diamonds are grinding into the steel, that all of a sudden it feels like it's skating across the steel. I'm not sure if this is just soft D2 or maybe a little bit of burnt steel that needs to be removed. The burr's coming up pretty quick. Why are you doing all this? What are you doing?
Because it was hard to see.
It's very hard to see now. You can't see anything.
They can see.
I'm looking at it.
What do you mean?
It's super dark.
If that's how it was, I'm giving you more light, baby.
No, I could see way better before.
I'm telling you, it was doing the same thing.
Now I'm blinded. You're just doing too much. You should have just left it. There you go. just like how it was. There you go.
Well, it was way higher. So
Well,
the
just
light
leave
is
it right there.
passing.
That's fine. That's fine. This other camera though is got it. Like you should have shut off this other camera. All right.
God, there. Now the light's a lot more even across the stone.
So I am. It is cutting really quick, but this is a 140 grit Atoma diamond plate, so they do cut very fast, anyways. Got a donation?
Who do you think it is?
I don't know. Let me know.
Take a guess.
Not a clue.
He's really sneaky. He has a job where he may or may not murder people.
Something assassin.
Yeah.
Irish assassin.
No, you're mixing names.
I am. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
Bald assassin.
Bald assassin. Yeah,
Thank you for the 10
bones. I knew that too. Why did I think Irish? Is there? What is
Irish
Irish?
Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So we already have a burr. Thank you for the donation, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sick of this.
It looks hyper aggressive. Which
This
it
thing
is
is,
because
like,
it's a
this
140,
thing
so
is-
it should.
This thing is too jank.
What? I know. Shut that fucker off.
I did. It just like takes in light very aggressively because it's not super quality.
When we do things like that, we just need to practice it off, not on live.
They're fine. I think they survived
They're
seeing
not
a
fine.
slightly
They're not
overexposed.
fine. We lost
Did
5
you
members
guys
'cause of this.
survive seeing a slightly overexposed view
No.
for a little bit
No,
of our
they don't
faces,
pay
super
for that
tiny up in
shit.
the corner?
It's not what they pay for.
They do. They pay for innovation.
Do me a favor.
No
give me a
one's
paper
ever
towel.
done that before.
Give me a paper towel. Why don't you bring the whole thing in here?
did.
Oh, okay.
Don't underestimate my skills. With a Z.
Let me see it. Come on.
Skills with a Z.
Thank you. With that carbide cutting bit, you probably want to wear gloves though, because the metal particles are like little pieces of splinters. They're like little splinters, and they'll get in between your fingers. So careful for that. I might be starting to get into a little bit better steel. Some parts of feel better than others. And that's usually how it feels in many cases when you're tearing off some burnt steel. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I mean, the steel feels kind of weird. It's a very cheap, you know, it's a relatively cheap knife. The knife's still great, so, I mean, as long as it's not a shit heat treat, it, you know, should be fine for the price and everything. And it's a great work knife. I've used the heck out of this thing. I really like it. But, you know, I'd obviously prefer to have a good heat treat on it. But we're going to see how the burr goes, and, you know, the longer we sharpen, the more steel we remove, maybe it'll get better and better. Let's hope for that. Thing is that most companies' D2 is shit. Not all, but most. What are you laughing at?
This is everyone talking about how they're unsubscribing and turning off notifications
Damn.
and unringing bells due to brightness issues.
See, I told you.
I think they were doing something called, what's that word? Sarcasm?
You think that's sarcasm?
Yeah.
I think they're being honest. All right, we'll switch stones. We're going to move to a VENEV stone. By the way, you guys, VENEVs are available right now for the Phoenix. They're expensive as shit, but they're not always available. But right now they are available if you wanted to get some. Because since they're from Russia, they sell out. I'm not going to say fast, but when they do sell out, they take a little while to get back in stock. Yeah.
Is most, if not all, non-powder D2 from China? Asks James K.
So D2 is supposed to be from the U.S., I believe. It's a tool steel, but China does like their. It's like, I don't think D2 matters because D2 is just like, it's like the makeup of the steel. So any company or any country can kind of just do it, and it's just a specific makeup, like how much chromium, how much this, how much that, and other countries make it as well. It's just, you know, I don't know if they just don't do it as well, but they definitely, when it comes to heat treating it, it's not a steel that was made for production, because you got to think, anytime when you're talking production heat treat, that means heat treating in, you know, in large batches, in mass amounts, right? A lot of steels, they like D2 supposedly is a really easy steel to heat treat. Like Medford loves D2 because of how easy it is for him to heat treat it. But he's heat treating, you know, a couple at a time. He's doing it in small batches. So he has the ability to do a really good heat treat on D2. And in that case, it's amazing. But when you're talking about doing 300 knives at a time or whatever, or however many they do, I don't know. They can't get it as consistent, and it's not as good. But yes, some companies are lying about their D2, and it's not really D2. I don't think these guys are, but a lot of like no-name companies definitely do that. Looking good though. The burr's coming up good. I want to feel this burr though. The burr feels nice and hard. I'll give it that. It's not super brittle or anything. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger on one side and see how it does when I try to snap it off while we have an aggressive stone. Yeah, the bird's coming up really nice. Like now I got a good apex going, so from here out I could rush through my stones pretty quickly without an issue. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on these aggressive stones to remove a little bit more steel, because I want to see if I can't try to get into a really good some good steel before the end of this sharpening.
Dennis says,
because it's feeling better and better.
Dennis says the O knife he got from us was one of the easiest knives he's sharpened so far. Is that a good sign for good heat treatment?
Yes and no. So depends. So like, yes, and good heat treat is easier to sharpen than bad heat treat. It's easier to get up a burr, it's easier to remove the burr, it's easier to get a nice clean apex. So yes, that is a good sign of a good heat treat. Now, also though, softer steel can sharpen faster than hardened steel in many cases, because it won't be as wear resistant to the stone, so the stone might be able to sharpen it up faster. So the speed isn't the same as how good it went. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me see this burr now. The burr doesn't feel super soft or anything. It's not popping off, but it's also not super big. We're going to raise it up one more time on this side and see if we can't make it big enough to pop. And see how it pops. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to bring up my burr so that there's enough. Like normally you don't try to make a big burr. Normally you want to make a small burr, or as small as you can. Obviously in the beginning when you're first learning, you're going to make burrs bigger than they need to be. You don't need to make a burr any bigger than it just being there. So the burr size does not mean anything. And in many cases, you want them to be smaller so that when you do knock off the burr, it reveals a cleaner apex rather than, you know, being thick and removing steel when you do a burr removal. Yeah. Why is this blurry? There we go.
CNC Shorts, thank you so much for the 99-cent bone. And Zeroaster has a question. Jared, when using Bar Keeper's Friend powder for cleaning, how long do you leave it on the diamond stones, or do you just scrub right away?
You just scrub right away. Just scrub, scrub, scrub right away. Come on, focus. Live cameras suck.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, it does.
It's just the focus on the...
Yeah. All right, so... Yeah, it's not popping. Let's see how this feels. I'm just gonna try to do a quick burr removal. I'm not ready to do a burr removal, but I'm just kind of feeling the steel out. It folded over really quickly.
Boink!
Boink.
Formula One, thank you for the 2 boink bones. We appreciate it. We should just change it to boinks instead of bones. Thank you for the 2 boinks so that new people can be like, what? What?
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. All right. I'm going to try to just move up in grit and continue moving up through my process. It seems as if this D2 doesn't really, which is weird. This is where it's like really weird for me right now. Normally D2 does really good with a coarse edge. Normally coarse stone is where it shines. That's where it does really good, is with a toothy finish. This, I'm not saying it wants a polished edge. I'm not saying that at all. But it's not responding what I'm like typically used to with a lower grit. So I'm trying moving up the grit. Maybe, you know, it'll just be happier with a little bit higher grit. That could be very possible, and we're going to find out. What?
Kyle.
What do you say?
I'm gonna boink something in my dreams. Good night, y'all. He's going to sleep because he's tired. A lot of these dudes stayed up on all the...
I know, you guys are crazy. But loyal, I'll say that.
No, boinks is my thing. Mine, 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 mine. Formula One throws tantrum.
You can't have it.
Every time we do it, he just starts freaking out. People are like, sorry, I'll never say it again.
I was at this live stream earlier. I didn't realize how crazy the word boink was. People were real touchy about it over there. All right. Steel is starting to feel a little bit better though. Starting to feel a little bit harder on these stones. The better ones to try it on though, to really feel how, in my opinion, is regular diamond plates. They definitely feel different. Steels feel different from these stones to diamond.
What?
Every stone gives you different feedback. So that's kind of a goal with a lot of sharpeners, is to get a stone that has good feedback, because it's going to, you're going to be able to work with it a lot easier. What's up, baby?
Mikey's Knives said the button broke off his tie frag cormorant last night while he was flicking it. Button broke clean off. Do you mean the actual button, like to close the knife, or like the flipper tab?
No, he's talking about the button lock. The button.
How does it break clean off? Like, does it pop out?
Did the plunge break, or did the actual button just pop off? Sounds like the button popped off. You should be able to replace it. All right, let's get to it. And right now, yes, I am using my thumb as an angle guide, but I'm just letting it float across the stone. It's not grinding into the stone, it's just floating across the stone, just as a little bit of an indicator. This is really weird.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I just fell off the stone. It's weird, man. The steel is really weird. Alright, let's work on this side. This should be the last stone. But I'm not sure yet.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
we can do a burr removal and we'll see how it goes.
Literally, Formula One speaks like I do. That was so funny. He's like, just kidding. It would be an honor to be the instigator of such a significant alteration of the nomenclature used with regard to declaration of the action previously known as
What
the
the fuck are you
so-called...
talking about?
He's saying, okay, I'll put it in different words. He's basically saying, it would be great to be the person to instigate such a fight using the nomenclature, which means like his boink, his word, his kind of logo, lingo, whatever you want to call it. Not logo, lingo. During the action of a donation, basically. Basically he's saying it would be an honor to be the person whose term became the donation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be an honor if we started saying boink. He was kidding. That's what he said. And then he said, I aced English, if you were wondering. I as well aced English. That was the only class that I was able to just breeze through.
I wasn't even allowed in the door.
I somehow was able to ace tests on books that I never read. Just because I was, like, pretty decent with context clues to, like, determine exactly what they were kind of looking for in the test. Like, obviously, there's sometimes where that doesn't work, but I got pretty damn lucky. I just don't, like, I'm just, like, not a huge math person, so that stuff was always really crappy for me.
So the removal of the burr went fairly well. It did come off pretty easily. It went back and forth once or twice and then snapped off. And now, oh yeah. I think I got into some good steel. I think the edge was just burnt. And so the first edge I had on, it just had, you know, some burnt steel. Because now it's feeling a lot better. The burr towards the end, it felt weird, like coming up, like on the stone. Like it was like it feel hard and then kind of soft, and it was like kind of like back and forth. It was kind of weird, which is a good indicator that it was probably just kind of taking off the shit steel that was burnt and getting into good steel. But once I started creating my last burr and removing it, it popped off pretty easily. It looks fairly good. Yeah, it looks good. It's a nice V ground edge. It's not convexed. And it did come up very, very aggressive. A lot better than how it felt with the lower grit. Like a lot more aggressive. Which maybe this particular D2 just doesn't like it that coarse. I think that was 300 grit. This is more like 600 grit. Maybe it just didn't like that, or maybe it would have. It just needed some of the burnt steel removed. Yes, baby.
Seems logical. Said, is it ever I hate this word. Can't say it. Advantageous to go fast with sharpening?
Not usually. Usually you want to take your time. I would say if you have a good flow going, then it can maybe help you just because of time wise. But no, usually you want to go nice and slow. Very, very clean. But yeah, because like if you can get into a good flow, like where if you guys were watching how I was kind of going back and forth like this, I was using my body. So like if I scoot up a little bit right here, I was using my body like this. So my arms are like locked. So I'm not even using my elbow at all. I'm just kind of have my edge on my stone, and I'm using my finger to go across the stone. But this stone isn't aggressive. So like I could sit here and go like this all day. It's not aggressive. So if I do have to put a little bit of pressure on it, it's okay to hold my angle. And I'm holding my angle on the spine, letting the edge hit, and then I'm just using my body motion. And I am lifting because I have to do it with my wrist to get to the tip, but I'm mostly just, that's it. Like it's like literally just me working my body like this and then adding in this. See my wrist?
Hey baby.
So that's what I'm doing. So I'm holding it like this and I'm lift up, down, up, down.
Yeah, you were buffering hard as hell there. I was trying to tell you, but
What?
that you were buffering through a lot of that.
So they didn't hear any, did you guys hear anything I just said?
I don't know if it was for
Damn, that was important shit. That was really good stuff.
Kirko! Gotta watch later loading trailers just saying what's up, bones, bang, loot, etc., etc., and boink.
Thanks for stopping by.
He didn't say boink, I added that in.
Oh, did you?
The nomenclature.
But, here, let's take a quick look at the edge really quick that we just sharpened, if you guys can even see it.
You guys just buffered worse than Justin Bieber's auto-tune that one time.
Oh my goodness.
Some people heard it.
Well, that sucks. So basically what I was saying was that instead of me moving my arms just now, I was using my body like this. So I had my angle locked in and I was using my body.
What's that?
And then I was just using my wrist to get to the tip. So instead of going like this with my arms, I have my arms locked. And in that case, that you might be able to go faster that way. So doing that, because you'll have a flow going, you can go faster, and it might be more beneficial to go faster at that point. But if you're not locked into a groove like I was there, no, it's gonna work against you to go faster. You're gonna want to go slower. Damn, this thing is bright on my face.
What knife is that?
This is the CMB made Predator. The CMB made knives Predator.
I don't know how to explain nomenclature. Shane, it means like kind of like a lingo or a term that's used by like a certain group of people. Like it's kind of like if you go to a different country, they might have different nomenclature. Like almost like kind of like slang, except for it might be a real word that's used in a different context. That's the best way I can explain it. I'm sure Formula One can explain.
I love this knife.
Oh, there we go.
This is a solid knife. One of my favorite budget knives, actually. Like, this would definitely be on, like, the top 10 list of best budget knives under, like, around $50 or less. And now that I've gotten into good steel, I'm even more happier with it. Now we'll see how this steel does. The edge retention, you know, it's probably not going to be the best, but you know, it's an under $50 knife. So in D2, in some cases, the edge retention's amazing. So, I mean, I've done lots of cut tests where D2 outcuts, it damn near will outcut S35. I've had some where it's right there with it. Not usually though. Usually it's about the same as like 154 cm, you know. Sometimes a little bit better though, and sometimes a little bit less. It just kind of depends. We've also seen some really shit D2, but that I don't want to throw in the same pile as all D2s, because that's the weird thing about D2 is it's so across the board. It's so weird. Like some is like phenomenal, and then some is just absolute dog shit, and then some is mediocre. You know, that's reasons why I advocate for certain steels, like say 14C. 14C is a steel that's super easy for companies to heat treat. You'll never really see it done bad. You'll see some companies D2 done better than others, but not horribly, because it was a steel that was designed for production. So it's literally made for knives. It's a steel designed for knives, for blades, and designed to be done in mass production. That's what it's for. So of course it's going to be easier for companies to do. Unlike other steels that might be easy to heat treat singly or, you know, in small batches, it's not in large batches. How would you compare CMB made Predator to the other axis lock knives? So I think it's really good. It has a solid, the spring tension is stronger than most. So I would say this has a stronger feeling axis lock. I'm not saying it is stronger, I'm saying the feeling it has. The springs are thicker and bigger, so the tension you have to pull it down is a little bit stronger, which I like. Yes. Okay. And then at the same time, because of that, it gives you a stronger detent. So I think it's solid, man. I think it's really good. But yeah, it's still an axis style knife. But like, unlike like say the drop bear, the tension's a lot less. Not a lot less. It's less, because depending on what Omega spring you pick and stuff like that, because you can make these stronger and swap out the Omegas. But like say for Benchmades, right? This is probably 3 times stronger than most Benchmades, the tension, if not more, which gives you a better detent and makes you feel a little bit more, you know, like it's a little stronger. So, but it's still an axis style lock or a crossbar lock. But yeah, it feels great. I love it. Yeah, the drop bear is an awesome knife. The new one, man, I'm telling you that, let me grab it since you guys are right here. The Escort, this thing is badass. It is beefy, it's big, it's slicey, ergonomic, action is stupid good. It has a really nice sound to it. It has like a thwack to it. Clink. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm loving this one a lot. 20 CV steel though. So the price is a little bit heftier than the drop bear with 154 cm. Don't know which one I like more. I probably like the drop bear's blade shape more than the Escort, but the Escort has a tougher, more solid feel to it. And I like that. I like that a lot. But drop bear, man, amazing. I love the drop bear. It's one of my favorite knives of the year, and it could possibly get best knife of the year.
The fat carbon ones they have coming.
What?
The fat carbon ones they have coming.
What, drop bears?
I think that's what he's talking about.
I haven't seen them.
Maybe Escort? I don't know. We were talking about both. No, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
if the Escort is a better blade shape for you, hell yeah. I mean, because I understand like this one has a little bit of a weirdness to the tip, but that's the part that I like because it allows you to use the tip easier. That's what I love about it. But I get it though. This is a, like, you know, it kind of has more of a cleaner look to it. And man, it's really good. This thing's badass. I'm absolutely loving this thing. And this should be available soon. And I do have some videos coming soon, guys. I got some compilation videos coming, and then I got some full reviews coming really soon. Then I'm putting a lot more work into the videos that I'm going to be doing in the near future. So I obviously am going to have just filler videos to fill, like videos I have to keep up with anyways, you know, like first impressions and stuff. But aside from those, I have videos going on in the background that I'm putting a lot more work into, that instead of it taking a day to film, it's going to take me multiple days, and then probably multiple days of editing to equal a really good video. It's difficult to do those types of videos because of how much time it takes, you know, to do them. So, but I'm gonna start doing more of those and just kind of have those planned so they take longer to make, and then, you know, do my faster type of content still in between. You should do like knives maintenance for idiots. There's so many knife videos for like maintenance videos. Like Nick Shabazz has like 150 videos on maintenance. So there's really no point to do those. Now, Nick Shabazz does one on like every single knife he gets. So you can almost find any knife out there, find a maintenance video on it. The Amazon game being New World.
Just ignore all that.
What?
Just ignore all of it.
Why? Okay.
You're not going to talk about it.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the Richlight Escort. It's same price as Drop Air at 109. Nice, nice, yeah.
You got a great question.
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know about that one. I just know about this one, and these aluminum scales, man. I like them. I like metal scales, so I like that little bit of weight, that thwack sound. Listen to
that. Ian said you should do knife maintenance for idiots, and then
I talked about that already.
Okay, what grit do you recommend for Damascus VG10 Japanese kitchen knives? 600?
Yeah, probably 600 grit, just because it's a safe bet. You might find some will do well with a fine edge. So since you're talking about a chef knife, right? Say chef knife.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a chef knife, you can go with a finer edge. You don't need a toothy edge, because, you know, like you would for like, you know, like cardboard and rope and things like that. So 1200 grit would be a good edge for it, probably. Yeah, between 600 and 1200 grit is where I would stay, or even like 1000 and 1200, right there in that area. It should be really good for a chef knife. Now, if that was a different knife, I would say something different, but because it's a chef knife. We need someone to pick up the mantle for knife disassembly videos. I miss Nick Shabazz doing these. I mean, he just recently did one. He still does them. He's just not putting out as many as he was. So, but like, there's still so many of those types of videos out there. What?
I have a question.
No, go ahead. What's up?
Q1 Fiend wants to know, should he get the Readout or the Jutland? I would go Jutland. That's just me.
Jutland. Yeah. The Readout is really good, don't get me wrong. It's a great knife.
Bang
but I
for
would
your
say
buck, though?
Well, they're both about the same price. You're getting better materials with the Jutland, better action. You know, the Readout you can get new scales for. You can't do that with the Jutland. So if you're wanting to modify it or anything like that, then obviously go with the Benchmade. And if it's going to be used as a tool, like, and I mean like a literal tool, like for working, then I would say go with the Benchmade. But if it's for an EDC/hunting, or just EDC, I would say use the Jutland. The Jutland just feels better. It's a great knife. I love that knife. I would say it's probably the best knife for EDC/hunting. Like if you're a hunter and, you know, you carry an EDC knife, I think that's a really good one. Kind of like the Crooked River.
Yeah. How's Giant Mouse's L-Max? I like the Ace Grand or GM5.
I don't know. I did one of the members' lives, we sharpened up the Jutland, and it sharpened up really good. It still has a really good edge on it. I do have a little bit of microchipping towards the nose, but that doesn't really mean too much. It could be from me. I don't know. So I gotta sharpen it again and then test it again, because from the cutting I was doing with it, the microchipping that it got, it could have been from me. It wasn't a controlled test or anything. But the steel felt good on the stone, sharpened up really good. So far, I'm not upset at it. I know their M390 can be a little wishy-washy, so. Or really wishy-washy, I should say. What does this say? Mikey's.
Yo, I think I heard you say you put a nice edge on the White Mountain Knives Towser, or White Mountain Knives Towser button lock. Talking about the Kaiser?
Yeah, the Towser. Yeah, the 3D.
I have the Work Sharp Precision. Should I start at 20 degree? Should I start at 20 degrees?
17.
Yeah, I would go
or lower.
Lower.
I'd go 17, maybe even lower than that if you want to. I mean, I personally would go 15 probably, but you'd probably be happy with 17. And then, yeah, 17 degrees per side would be pretty good for it. You can take it up to a polish if you want to. 3V does pretty good with the polish. Yeah, man, I got a lot of fucking steel to remove on that one. I'll probably take this to the grinder and grind that off. Same thing with this one. Just do it quickly. Ah, this one's not bad. But yeah, it's great though. Yeah, my edge came out really good on the Towser K White Mountain Knives edition or whatever the hell it is. That's a badass knife. That's gonna be one of the better knives of the year in my opinion, because of the size, the action, the button lock. It just works with that knife. The hole, like, it's in such a perfect place. Some knives, you know, their deployment's good, right? But then some knives, it's so perfect, like the placement of the deployment option, the ergos, the type of locking system, and that Towser K button lock, the smaller one, the mini, it is perfect. Like, it's great. Fidgety, good ergos for slicing, just everything about it, man. That was a great idea. And it worked because it originally wasn't designed for that. It was originally in a liner lock in a larger version, so it just happened to work. Who does the best Magna Cut right now? Spyderco. Yeah, as far as I know, Spyderco. I haven't gotten to test Chris Reeves. Chris Reeves is supposedly going to be doing a good job with it, but that'll be, we'll see. I'm going to try to see if they'll let me test some of it. I don't know if they will or not, but hopefully they will. And then we'll find out if Chris Reeves is going to do it really well. But from what I've tested, the best has been Spyderco. Aside from custom. If you want to talk about custom, then it would be from Brian. Brian's been the best heat treat I've felt from Magna Cut. But then Spyderco would be second. Jutland ordered using a link.
Bones.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Thank you, Fiend. That's a badass knife. You're going to be happy, man. That's a good one. It really is. It's a great one.
Lauren.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Lawrence69 said, do you have any idea how to remove scratch on a stone wash blade, specifically the arcane plexus?
A scratch on a stone washed blade? Yeah, you got to get it re-stone washed.
That's pretty much the only way a more scratchy looking stone wash.
Yeah, you get it re-stone washed because, you know, if you try to rub it out, you're going to be rubbing out the stone wash. So you have to get it re-stone washed. I would say just use it, man. Just use it, have fun with it. And then in the end, like, don't worry about it. Scratch it all to hell. And in the end, get a new blade finish and get the titanium redone. You can always redo your knives. If you have a titanium frame lock, you can always get it redone. Blades, always can get them refinished. You can get a reset and finish. You can get a new stone wash. You can get a new regrind. So there's always things you can do. So don't worry about it. Scratch to hell, and then in a year or so, when it's too scratched for your liking, send it in and get it refinished. And then you'll have a brand new knife. But then you never had to baby it. And if you're that worried about it, you know, just deal with how it is right now, baby it, and then in the future, you do the same thing still.
What's up? It's an addiction. Leo Bob said I definitely experienced from Lock Stick 2 on the Sachi, but it's still a beast knife.
Yeah, mine has stick too, but I don't mind it. It's not like, it's not stick to the point that it's pissing me off. It's just stick. So it's not, like when it's a frame lock, that's when it really pisses you off. Button locks don't piss me off as bad. Now, if they're really bad, like I have a couple that got like so bad that it was obnoxious. But my Sachi isn't like that. It's just a little stick, a little pop, not a big deal. What's up? It's an addiction. It's worth it. Just don't get too addicted to it. Lost Ark is better.
Yeah, you're reading video game stuff. If you have scratches from sharpening on diamonds, will the scratches come out with a refinish like a satin blade, for example?
Yeah, so depending on how deep they are, you just depend, like, so depending on the satin finish you're going to get, like if you send it in, most satin finishes are going to be like 300 grit, 250 to 350 grit. So if your scratch on your knife is like an 80 grit scratch, they just might have to, you know, work on it a little bit longer, and it should cover it up either way. But yeah, satin finish will almost always cover up some scratches. Now, depending on how bad it is, like and where it's at, you might be able to sharpen it out. But yeah, if it's on like the side of the knife or towards the spine or something, yeah, you're gonna have to get it refinished in order to take care of that, or just live with it. You know, some knives, man, they look better with scratches, even if it is a scratch from a stone. It really does. I mean, in my opinion. But I understand if you have a really expensive knife, not wanting it to be all fucking scratched up. But remember, you can always get them refinished. Always. Mostly 300 grit or above. Yeah, if it's above yeah, it'll be easy for them to cover up. Take a chainsaw blade sharpener to the part of the blade that touches the button when it's fully deployed. Solves it. What the fuck? Take a chainsaw to it? Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, you can always, you know, remember, anything that needs to be done to the knife, there's somebody in the community that can do it. There's somebody that offers it as a service. So don't worry about things too much. You know, if something messes up, you can get it fixed. It's not that big of a deal. If you don't have the money to get it fixed, then, you know, you can wait until you do have the money to get it fixed and just enjoy it till then. You know, I tend not to worry about scratches and stuff too much because I personally think they look good when they're kind of worn and used and they have the love marks on them. But on knives where it does bother me, I would just set it in to get it refinished. You can get them reblasted, stone washed, satin, anodized, milling. You can do a lot of different things. Yeah.
Q1 Fiend says, have you ever tried redoing a hand satin? If so, what did you use for a grinding compound?
I used a diamond plate when I did it. But so there's different ways to do it. If you have a grinding wheel, you can use your grinding wheel. If you have a belt, you can use your belts, like if you have an actual belt grinder. But if you don't have any of those things, you can literally take sandpaper. You get sandpaper, 200-300 grit. You just make sure you don't go back and forth. One direction. So say if the knife's right here, you would go this way. Just, so you guys can see it. You would just go straight that way, straight that way, straight that way. So you take the sandpaper and go like that. You don't go back and forth because that'll make swirls. You want it to go straight. Or if you're going to go this direction, you want a hand satin, and you go that direction. But then you take like a little stick or like a something that has an angle on it, kind of like a swedge, and then you wrap the sandpaper around it and use it to grind onto the metal. You can also use like a little diamond plate, like a Lansky stone. I've done that where I've wedged the knife into something and then take the diamond plate and I just go back. I just rub it back and forth until it's all the way done, and then I come back and I just go straight across. And if you do go back and forth, you can. It's going to be a little more swirly than if you go straight, or if you only go one direction, I should say. But sandpaper is going to be the best way to do it. It's just same thing the way they do it from a factory. If you have a belt, that's gonna be the best way. If you have a belt grinder. All right, guys, we're gonna take off. It's about that time.
I'm sleepy.
I can tell.
I'm sorry, I really am sleepy. I think everyone's sleepy today.
Yeah, I mean, shit. It's been a long couple days with that 24-hour live and everything. I know. I've been busting my ass too, so I've been up since early this morning too. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Bye. I have to end the stream because I have the mouse. How's that feel?
Yeah, the marathon did kick ass.
Hovering.
Don't bother me. We can sit here all
Don't
day.
bother you?
No.